All right, guys, so welcome to the video. Now, in terms of buying leads, there's 7 things, I should say 6, okay? And with buying leads for your business, it's all about the fundamentals, really. It's really the 80-20, I should say the 90-10 approach. If you want to buy leads that are more effective, they're going to convert better, that is when you pick up that phone and you call them, you're not going to keep getting not interested or no pickups or stuff like that. I mean, you're going to have some that to some extent with any list, but these hacks, if you will help to eliminate that. And also you're going to be able to buy the list a lot cheaper doing it this way. Now there's 2 ways you can actually buy lists cheaper. You can physically buy the list cheaper. So you've probably heard buy low, sell high. That's how you make your money. So one way to buy a list cheaper is to buy it low. But the other way is simply to buy a better quality list that converts better. And there's things you can do that can help that. Because if you're converting more of those people on that list into sales, putting cash in your pocket, you're obviously going to be getting that list cheaper in the long run. So I won't go into a lot of depth on all these things here in this video. We talked about them on the blog post, which I will post today as well. It's at jasonclemens.media is where you can find it. That's like my blog site, and the link will be here or something right below this video. I'll just post it. You can find it there if you want. I think there'll be some studies and stuff there. But okay, so in terms of buying leads, so one of the biggest things, if not the biggest thing you can do when buying leads, is to buy niche specific lead lists. Okay, so if you're gonna do it, you want to buy niche specific. Now, for those who don't know, maybe you don't know what a niche is, so let me just give you an example. If you sell like a pre-workout supplement or something, and that's just an off-the-wall example, if you're selling a pre-workout supplement, a lot of people will assume that is the fitness niche. Not really. It's not the fitness niche. Fitness is really the industry. Fitness is the industry. The niche for that would actually be supplementation, specifically workout supplementation. And you could even break that down further into pre-workout supplementation, specifically those who have purchased pre-workouts. So that'd be one way to go about it. Now you can't always find targeted niche lists that are that specific, but you want to get them as close as possible. So you don't want to just target everybody in the fitness industry. And so what a lot of people will do is they'll buy lists of people who go down to the local, 24-hour fitness or whatever. And that would actually be a lot different list than people who specifically buy pre-workout supplements. And again, the closer you might be able to get that narrowed down would be those who buy workout supplements or so that. So that's what you want to do. It's paramount. It's super effective. Or I should say it's far more effective. It's not always going to be effective depending on some of the other hacks here, but that is what you want to do. So don't let some freaking list broker or whatever talk you into buying a fitness niche or a fitness industry level list, saying things like, oh, well, just contact more of the people or you can get this cheaper because it's not going to matter in the long run. It's not going to be effective for you. And this goes for everything. It goes for legal industry, insurance industry, real estate industry, you name it. In my opinion, is probably the most effective thing when buying a list of leads. If you're not actually advertising yourself for that list, nothing's going to beat self-marketing, advertising yourself. As I've said in previous posts, you should be learning, whether you're starting out in business or whether you have a business, you should be learning to actually get your own leads through your own marketing, because nothing is going to provide as warm of a lead as that. But we've talked about that in past videos. This video is just about buying leads. Number 1, buy them niche specific. If the place you're buying them from does not have niche specific leads for you, go to a different place and get a different one, because it's going to make a huge difference in what you're trying to do. Number 2, I call this one something I came up with. It's old school. I call it the rule of 3, basically. And again, we talked about this on the blog post. So when buying a list, what a lot of people will do, and specifically you're going to find this with business owners who have just, or entrepreneurs who have just started a business. They come up with an idea, maybe they put up a website, maybe they don't even have a website. But what they'll do is say, well, I need leads. I need people I can call to get on the phone to sell to. All right, I need these sales leads. What should I do? Okay, well, let's go over here. Let's go to xyz.com, or let's call up this list broker and let's buy a list. So they buy a list. Even if they follow the point one, that maybe they buy a fairly targeted list, and they buy that list and they go through 100 names on that list, or maybe even more, and it doesn't work out. None of them work, and so they just chalk it up to, well, I have a bad offer or a bad business idea. My product, people just don't want the product. They don't want the service, whatever it might be. So they just chalk it up and they walk away, and that's a big mistake. That's the first of the big mistakes you find when dealing with only one list. Which ideally you want to do is sample size, and I'll talk about sample size briefly. What ideally you want to do is you want to buy 3 lists, okay? But the reason is you're going to test these lists. So buy list A, B, and C, call back the exact same amount off of each list, all right? That's a better way to do it, because lists, you would be shocked at the variation in lists. It comes from a myriad of different sources. The provider, just to be honest with you, most list providers out there are absolute shit. They suck. They provide you with bad leads. But your average business owner, especially newbies, don't know. They're just going to go and spend the money on the list, and they'll keep spending the money. Eventually, they'll say, "Well, this doesn't work." Where if they went to a different source, if they tested a few sources, you might find A and B are horrible, and C is absolutely dynamite. Okay, and so it shows you, number one, that lists are different. Okay. Number two, that you have a viable offer actually, and so you don't walk away. And in the long run, if you're using the rule of 3, you wind up getting your leads cheaper because they're converting better, and you're not walking away from your business, which can cost you a lot of money trying to figure out, trying to think that your offer is wrong, and it can save you a lot in the long run if you do it that way. So that was 2. The last ones here I'll run through real quick. So number 3, talk to the actual broker. Don't buy list leads off of websites where you just plug in your credit card and they send you a lead list of 200 and 250 or 1,000 or whatever. It's a waste of money. Most of the time. Now you might find random people on that will buy, but mostly it's a waste of time. Talk to a broker if you don't trust the broker. Ask specific questions. What has been the conversion rate off of this? Do you have any PDF printouts on the specific list? What has been the general feedback? If you don't trust them, move on to the next one. Talk to a real person. The industry can be really, really freaking scammy. Talk to a real person. Don't just buy bulk leads off of websites. You're going to be further ahead in the long run, and also you're probably going to learn some things too from this person, especially if you get a good one, and there are some good ones. Number 4, don't buy email blasts. Email blasts are such a cliche thing. Maybe you've had some success with it in the past. Most people have not. Most of the people on the web, on blogs that you've talked to, say, oh yeah, email blasts have been great. All you're doing is talking to the very few number of people, business owners, who have actually made email blasts work. Number 1, it's illegal to spam. You cannot buy named email lists and then set up some dummy email account. Maybe you're setting up a Google account or a Yahoo account. Plug all those names in and send those names off. That is illegal. A lot of list brokers won't tell you that. They'll just sell you the emails. And so I like to use an example that the late great Gary Halbert, direct response master, used, and I'll probably screw up the example, but it will illustrate the point. If I take the entire ocean and I hang a bunch of fishing hooks about 12 inches off the water across the entire ocean and put some bait on there, what are the odds that a fish jumps out of the water to bite the bait? Even if I have billions of hooks set up, you might get a random straggler do that. But the odds are not very good. You're going to have a lot of success. Your conversion rate is going to be shit. Okay. On the flip side, if I take that same bait and cast it directly into the school of my fish, the ones that are absolutely will be interested in what I have to offer or have the best chance of biting my bait, my conversions go way up. My success is going to be far better, and my cost per lead is going to go way down. Don't buy email blasts from people. Now, the next one here. So the next one has to do basically with